Hello everyone, am I audible? You guys can ping a message and confirm it. Give me 1 second, guys. Hello everyone. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Uh, I'm extremely sorry, guys. There was some power cut in the department. I don't know how it happened right now. So, thank you for joining. I welcome you all in this session. Let me share my slides. Is my slide visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I guess someone is entering in the room. One second. Okay, I guess we can start now. One second. Yeah, so I guess we can start now. Means since most of the people have joined. Thank you so much, guys, for bearing with me. Like there was some technical issue from my end. So yeah, hello everyone. Myself Rituraj Singh Sujawat. I am currently the Prime Minister's Research Fellow in the Department of Earthquake Engineering uh, in the Institute IIT Roorkee. I will be working as an additional TA for this course. The course ground improvement. The code is NOC 2020 CE68, which is currently tutored by Professor Dilip Kumar Bedia, who is head and professor of the Department of Civil Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. Basically, this series of lectures is organized in such a manner so that when you will solve your assignment problems, these sessions will help you in solving that. And how we are going to do that? In these sessions, we are basically planning to solve some of the sample problems and some of the concepts related to that, so which are moreover is related to your assignment problems only. So when you are going to solve those assignment problems, this conceptual problem will help you in organizing in a great manner. So once again, want to confirm, is my slide visible to everyone?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay, nice. So the basic objective of this session is, like, basically in this 1 hour we are going to have some interactive session with our learners, and we are going to discuss some of the sample problems related to that week particular session, and in that week session, whatever concepts you have learned, we are going to discuss that through the sample problems. And if you guys are having any of the doubts, we are also going to discuss that, and any other query related to the course or related to the problems, if you feel like you can just turn on your mic and you can speak, like don't hesitate. Like if you want to keep it in the chat box, like you can keep it in chat box, otherwise we can also have some interaction through the sessions. So these sessions basically, like we are going to have on every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. The recordings and the contents of these sessions, like slides and the video recordings, will be shared with you soon through the NPTEL team. And if you are having any queries, you can ask it in the same session, or like you can even post it in the discussion form of the NPTEL session. So starting with our sample problems. So this is our first problem. I want you guys to have a look on that, and if you can post your answer in the chat box, it will be great. So first question is, what is the bearing failure in the soil? You are having four options: whether the applied pressure is higher than the ultimate bearing capacity of the soil, or the applied pressure is less than the ultimate bearing capacity of the soil, and if the applied pressure is equal to the ultimate bearing capacity of the soil, or whether it's all of the above.
Sir, option A.
Yeah, like you can post it in the chat box, like for answering this, because it will help other people also. One second. Yeah, we are getting the responses, and even some people are trying to join now also. For the people who have joined right now, this is the sample problem which we are discussing right now. So if you want to answer this question, I am again repeating it. What is bearing failure in the soil? You guys are having four options in front of you. Just post your answer in the chat box. So yeah, this is pretty straightforward, like you guys had done in your graduate courses, or like if you are the graduate student now, you would have read this in your basic soil mechanics course. So this is the option A, like when the applied pressure is higher than the ultimate bearing capacity of the soil. So like let's try to look into the some fundamentals of the bearing failure. Like I just want a confirmation, one more confirmation. The text which I am writing, is it visible to your screen?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, thanks. So yeah, so let's go into more depth for the bearing failure. So you can see, whenever some vertical load from the superstructure is being applied on the foundation, the load is transferred to the foundation, to the soil. So basically the corners of the foundations will interact first with the soil. So this particular corner will be having the soil particle which is beneath this corner, will get the force first, and it will start transferring the force along this particular plane. So as the load progresses, the plane the development of the or the transfer of the load through this plane keep on increasing, and we'll be having the three basic zones along this. And there will be development of the three zones, which are the Rankine active zone, radial shear zone, and the Rankine passive zone. So if we see the load settlement graph, so as the load progresses on the foundation, there the settlement of the foundation increases. So if the load is increasing, like let's again look into that. If the load is increasing along this plane, the load is transferred from one particle to another, and as soon as this failure or this plane will develop, and as soon as it will reach this surface after the transferring of the load through these particles, the particle here at the surface won't have any above particle to resist it, or there will be no confinement in that, so which will lead to the failure of the soil, which is basically the bearing failure in the soil. So this development of the zones are these three type of zones. The clear development of these three types of zone happen in the general shear failure only. So there are you guys would have read that there are basically three types of bearing failures: general shear failure, local shear failure, and the punching shear failure. So general shear failure basically occurs in the soil which is comprised of the dense sand having the friction angle greater than the 36 degree. So this is a typical example of the general shear failure, where you guys can see due to the development of due to the loss of the bearing capacity of the soil, there is a failure of the structure. So as you guys can see, this is inclining along the one direction only. So if you relate with this type of loading, so the load transfer mechanism through this plane is failing at this surface. So you can link with that. Next we are having the local shear failures. You guys are aware of this famous example in our geotechnical community. This is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So in the local shear failure, we are having only the two development zone, that is Rankine active zone and the radial shear zone. The Rankine passive zone won't be having a clear failure plane, and Rankine passive zone won't be having the clear failure plane, and we'll be having a quick heaving of the soil like beside this foundation. So as the load is increasing, there will be a sharp failure or sharp point, we can say, at which the settlement will increase drastically, or like it won't increase beyond that. So after the particular applied pressure, you will be having a certain value of the settlement beyond which the structure won't settle more, and you will be having the bearing capacity corresponding to that, or the failure bearing capacity, we can say. So this basically occurs in the medium dense sand or the clay of medium consistency, which is having the phi dash greater than 29 degree. Next we are having the punching shear failure. For the punching shear failure is in this we will be having only one zone development, that is the Rankine active zone. So we'll be having only one zone development, which is the Rankine active zone. So as soon as the load is applied, there will be development of these surfaces for the Rankine active zone, and we won't be having the development of the surfaces from other two zones, that is the Rankine passive zone and local shear zone. So that's why as soon as you will apply the load, the settlement of the structure will increase, and you will get a sharp point where the settlement will keep on increasing without the increment in the applied bearing pressure. So this type of failure is basically the punching shear failure. So you can see that this is the part of the building. So the soil beneath here, this part has failed in the punching, and you can see a clear fall, or we can say the settlement of the building for this section. We can say that the punching shear failure is basically happening in the soil which is having the consistency of soft or very soft, or it happens in the loose or very loose sand. Coming to the next question, uh, uh, the removal of excess water from saturated soil mass is known as. So if you guys would have gone through the lectures, it's pretty straightforward. So you can just post it in the chat box. We are getting responses. If you guys have any doubt in any of the part, or like if I'm going very fast, you can just stop me right there, or like you can unmute your mic, you can say to me, so that's not the problem. But just for the answering, like you can post it in the chat box, so we have a fair discussion here. Yeah, so this is a pretty straightforward question. Like we'll be having the removal of excess water from saturated soil mass is basically the drainage and dewatering. This is a very famous ground improvement technique, where we basically, if the groundwater or if any type of water body is available near the surface, so before constructing any of the structure, we will try to remove the water from that particular surface. So that drainage and dewatering, we can see like in our lecture we have, it's mentioned two type of further methods available. In the drainage we are having the field drains and the drainage geosynthetics, and in the dewatering we are having the open pumping and the well system. So let's try to understand one by one. So in the drainage, basically, if we see, we are basically providing some of the solid media or semi permeable media which can transfer the water from the soil. So in the future construction, when we are going to build any in situ construction, so in that case you won't be having any interaction with the water surfaces, so which will help in reducing the further settlement, or like it will help in increasing the bearing capacity of the soil. And in the dewatering we are simply removing the water with the help of some of the mechanical systems or some of the hydraulic systems. So the from the mechanical systems, we are having the open pumping. So here you can see like we are just directly applying the pumps here, which is helping us in removing the water available in the soil. So this water basically entered due to the groundwater, or maybe we can say in the past if some floods would have happened, so this would have left some water in that. So for construction, or we can also that say that if some water body is available, so due to that there is a availability of water at the ground. So if you want to do some construction in such type of sites, so we have to remove water. That's why there are some famous techniques available. We make use of the open pumping or the well system. And if the open pumping and the well system, like if these techniques are not feasible at that site, so we are making use of some other media, so field drains. So this is basically we can apply some soil media, uh, which can help us in removing the water. So the permeability of soil will help us in attracting that water from the nearby soil, which will enter from the soil required for the construction to the sand, and that sand will help us in transferring the water to the ground, and we can remove uh, water from that part. And drainage geosynthetics, like if you guys would have heard of, this is a pre-vertical drains. So this is a semi-permeable membrane which we applied into the surface. So I'll explain you. So if this is the soil media, just for the example, this is a type of a pre-vertical drain. So these pre-vertical drains are just simply applied into the soil. So the nearby soil having the water, this water will start transferring into this pre-vertical drains, and through these pre-vertical drains we are basically through this pre-vertical the waters enter into this pre-vertical drains will be made empty through the pumping systems. So you guys can take example like in the bucket, if you just entered a cloth, so the water in that bucket will get reduced to some level due to the entering of that water into that cloth. So the similar technique you can imagine in the this soil also. So we are applying some semi permeable membrane into the soil, which is